Finale, the final one, my favorite one.
I have a confession to make to you. I had a really great icebreaker that involved like participation from the audience and talked about food and all of our diversity and cultures and all the wonderful things that happen at my beautiful church. And I promise you, please come back next year. I'm totally going to do that icebreaker next year. But something happened to me this week, and I'm kind of a public confessions kind of gal, so I'm going to just do that instead. I've been married for a really long time, for my age, and we got married, I was 10. So anyways, after 15 years of marriage, this week I found out something about my husband that just, it almost crushed me. I was meditating on Little Orphan Annie, the movie, from 1982, and I was sharing my meditation with my husband, and he said that he'd never seen the movie. And I just, if you all know my husband, just maybe reach out and touch him later, okay? Because I can't imagine there's anybody else in the room who didn't see the movie. I'm right? There's nobody who hasn't seen Annie from 1982. Anyway, so just reach out and touch Bessim. But you think you know a person and then stuff like that happens. But anyways, in all seriousness now, I was meditating about her because I really think that I'm a lot like Little Orphan Annie, okay? Not just the adorable curly hair, great personality thing. A lot more to it than that. So if you're one of the 2 people who hasn't seen it, spoiler alert, here's what it's about. It's about an orphan who lives in a horrendous orphanage. God bless any child who's in an orphanage like that. Anyway, some rich billionaire, for his image, decides to take her in, obviously falls in love with her because she's not in a not humble way, a lot like me. Anyways, so he finally decides that he's going to adopt Annie. And it's amazing and it's wonderful and you're so excited. And Annie wears a really old locket. And he decides, he says, you know what, Annie, let's have a man-to-man talk. I want to tell you something. I've made it official, but before I adopt you, maybe you should know a lot more about me so you can make a decision. In this situation, Daddy Warbucks is a lot like our God, okay? Not everything about Daddy Warbucks is like God, but for me, it was a really interesting thing. So sorry, this is going all meditative rather than funny. But anyways, so he says to her, this is all about me. Now, will you accept me? I've got this new locket. And she says, golly, and not leaping lizards in that moment, but golly, you've done so much for me already. You've got this beautiful house and the indoor pool and the everything, and you're the best and you're swell. And he says, okay, let me give you this new locket. And she said, thanks so much, you've been so sweet, but I'm just going to hold on to my old locket if you don't mind, because I've got this image in my mind that I've had all the time, and I'm just going to hold on to what I think could potentially happen, that I might have some parents who left me at an orphanage anyways, but they're going to be wonderful and swell, and you're amazing, and you have a beautiful house, and you're going to offer me anything I could have ever dreamed of, but I'm going to say thanks, but no thanks. And the amazing thing about Daddy Warbucks is that he says, do you remember what he says when she says no to the locket? He said, I will help you. I'm going to let you want to exert your free will, you go, I'll help you, I'll be there for you, I'll be right behind you. Anyways, fast forward in the movie, horrible things happen to Annie, she goes out in the real world, sort of, kind of. And then they're, together at last, and he gives her the new locket. And I feel like sometimes we're like that, like, God, oh God, it's so great to have you as part of my life, and God, it's so wonderful, and you're so great. But I think I'm just going to hold some stuff back. We're just kind of holding. Sometimes we hold it all back from giving to him, okay? So that's my little meditation about Orphan Annie. And what was I going to say? There was a beautiful part of the song that was so applicable. Please, anyone from the final medley? Nothing? Quiet room. I didn't do funny anymore. You're all so quiet. Anyways, next year. I promise. The other icebreaker, it's going to be about food and culture and everything on our community nights. Every day is kind of community day at our church. You know what? We all love Jesus, and any day our doors are always open, but we just tell him that these are the 2 days so that we can get him up. Oh, you're in the room. In the front row. Nice to see you. Anyways, I am trying today, my prayer for myself and all of you is that if we're holding on to something old and icky and not kind of giving it and seeing all that God has to offer for us and what he wants to envelop us in, that we will take the nice with love from Daddy Warbucks locket.